Hello everybody, welcome back to part 3 of the Metroid Fusion speedrunning tutorial. Let's get right into it. So we left off the end of Sector 1, we're going to be covering Sector 2 today. Once we're up the elevator, we are just going to go to the highlighted elevator, go down to Sector 2. Sector 2 is probably the first more difficult areas that you're gonna find in this game. And it's mostly because this is where enemies start to deal a lot of damage. Take these off, I guess. And again, at the start of the sector, you're gonna have a very big text. If you're practicing text mashing, this is gonna be one that you're going to want to get a feel for. This one I feel like is one of the more easy text mash sections because there's no like abrupt stop. There's no real abrupt stops in the text where it's just one line or just the top line and then you have to advance it. This text, like most of it gets to the very end of the second line before it advances the text. So there's no weird like stops in between like there are on the main deck. Text boxes at the very beginning, and they're in the first sector. So we're just going to start out here. We're going to go and actually I'm going to make a quick save right in this first room because this first room there's a lot going on with this first room. Again, we're using we haven't switched over yet, not yet. Excuse me. This first room is going to be very important. This is the big room of Sector 2. Now, these red enemy guys that are kind of slithering along the floor and along the walls, these are called Zoros. They deal 45 damage, which is a lot in very early stages of the game. Especially if you're going to do low percent, you'll only live 2 and the third one will kill you. So you're going to want to move through these rooms as efficiently as possible while also, not hitting any of these Zoros. So typically the fastest way to get through the room will look like this. I'm going to keep my charge beam charged at all times. I'm going to fall down here. At a certain point I'm going to R-shoot, so I just shoot that block. I'm going to shoot this guy. I'll kill this guy just because, and then I'll get up here before I'm able to, before that Zoro is able to spawn. So let me go through the movement that I just did at a very like brisk pace here. So again, as always, we always want to have our charge beam charged at all times so we have the ability to R-shoot or even screw attack potentially because 2 screw attacks will take out a Zoro. I try to stick to the wall as I fall down here. As I come off of here, as soon as I get off of this ledge, I press A to spin, and as soon as I start to spin, I press to the left immediately. This way it prevents me from doing something like this, which can, happen occasionally. I'm coming in, alright, let me just, come in or do something like this. You can just, you can run off and hit that guy. There are some times where it'll just, you'll accelerate way too far. You also notice that more damage the Zoros take the faster they move. But, you just want to come down here, come down this way, do the same thing for this one, the same thing for this one, and at about here, when Samus's foot is lined up with this line in this last block, you'll just want to kind of fire that and just keep going. The reason I suggest doing it with the R shot by doing that is it prevents a situation where you're running and you do that, where you hit both blocks and you hit a Zoro. And that's gonna be problematic. So again, you just want to come down and you can potentially do this like this, release it early and have the shot go, or you can just come down without the charge and just hit it once. Though you want to have a charge, you want to R-shoot here. The R-shot here is very important because if you R-shot, you're already charging, and by the time you get to this point, you can just fire a charge shot to kill the Zoro. Once you kill the Zoro, you're just going to jump up, ledge grab, and At this point, it really depends what you do, dependent on this Zoro right here. So let me reload this room real quick. Shoot that guy. Alright, so he's going down, so I can just go right up over him, no problems. However, you know, say he's, you know, let's give it like 2 seconds or so. Alright, let's go now. Okay, he's going up. If I try to wall jump, I'm gonna hit him. So the ideal thing is to fire a shot up, and if there is the possibility that it won't hit, and that's completely fine. But if you don't hit both shots of the charge beam, you're not gonna kill it. So as you fire that missile, or fire the charge shot, just fire an additional missile right afterwards. Because even if you hit part of the charge shot, your missiles are still doing 10. And if you remember that the fully charged charge beam will do 20 damage total if both parts hit. If you're hitting one part, you're doing 10, and a missile will add the other 10 that you're missing and kill the Zoro so you can move on. Once you do that, or if you don't need to, you just wall jump off of here. And this is important because if I kill this guy, you're gonna notice that the X will come and spawn a Zoro on this wall. So let me just go through this room by killing the first Zoro, and you might see what I mean here. Or if I do it just as quickly, you'll see that a Zoro spawn on that wall. So I'm not going to kill any of these three. Shoot that guy, hit that, move through. Kind of missed that. So as I'm moving through, you notice that bottom Zoro that I didn't pick up the X for that one. Anytime a Zoro is first killed in this room, it will immediately spawn a Zoro on this wall. You really want to minimize that potential, because if it spawns as you're trying to get up, it could hit you and knock you off. So, again, once you get up here, you're just going to ledge grab, and when I get up here, I usually do, you know, something like this, where I spin jump immediately. As soon as I'm stood up, I press right to start moving. It's very slight, but it's just, you know, I press right, then A immediately, and as soon as I start to spin jump, I hold left. I hold the left again immediately, just so I can get up onto this ledge. And then I shoot as I'm about to land, so I stand up faster, and then I press A again almost immediately. Just so I can... So it's shot, and then as soon as I, like, land, I press to the left, and once I clear, and once I'm kind of lined up with that ledge, you see me, I kind of drift back to the right, because if I hold left entirely, I'm just going to go that way. But by changing the angle at about, I would say, as soon as Samus, like, kind of hits the corner, if you can see this, and you know, it'll take some time. You can get, like, all the way out here and still grab it. But the fastest way to go, like, do something like this. And then as soon as you grab the ledge, just press A immediately, just so you can pull yourself up. Now, you can take the time to kill these Zoros, not a big deal. In this way. I don't know if there's really any other room strategies for here. Not that I know of. You know, you could, I guess, do, you know, once you come up here, you can do this. But there aren't many different room strategies for this room, except for the one that I've just outlined. If you want to, I mean, if you're not comfortable with doing ledge grabs and you want to get a little bit of extra height and just run across the platform, that's completely fine. It'll lose a few seconds because you're kind of going a little counterproductive. You're running further from your destination, and then you have to jump over, which, again, jumping is super slow, so you're kind of, you know, waiting all this time to jump from there to there when you could just grab that and go. So this next room is going to be... It's going to take some getting used to. Excuse me. There's a lot... There's really only two ways you can go about this room. You can either just run straight through and kill the Zoros as you pass by, or... Let me just adjust the microphone because it looks like it's... For some reason, it's... I don't know why it's as quiet as it is. Or or at least it's showing as it's being very quiet. I don't know why. So your two options really are move through this room, not without stopping, which is highly recommended. The other option would be to jump in between these two Zoros, and what you're going to see is there's two Zoros that are going to be on the floor, and the timing can be kind of tight. So we're going to go through the first time just to see, okay, you're running, okay, there's one Zoro, I can kind of jump over that and then jump over the next one. Okay, that works, you know, that's fine. If you, like, this one is you're gonna want to feel pretty comfortable with doing this, because the timing on this is very difficult if you're just gonna, destroy both of these Zoros as you move through the room. So we'll do this, the first way with jumping over them. So on the black screen it'll start. Oh, whoopsie. About 7 seconds. I did get hit though, so let's retime that. And it took me a second to find the pause. Got the first one, second one, got a little damage boost. About 5 seconds, right? Okay, that's cool. 5 seconds, that's not bad, right? 5 seconds. This is the other way to go about this room. You enter this door, so after you get pulled up on this ledge, you know, you do your whole, okay, I'm going to jump, shoot, and then do this. You shoot the door, and you want to hold B. You want to have a charge beam, so when we go through this room. So I'm going to take a little maneuvering, but we'll see how this works. I guess it's about the same, though I did start a little slightly earlier. Running in through this room is the fastest way to go about it. For 100%. Oh, and I got a hit there. Even with the hit, it was 5 seconds. I got damage boosted backwards. So what I'm doing here is as I'm moving through the room, and I said this is going to take a little bit of time to kind of get used to this. As I'm moving through the room, I'm going to time up the first shot where both parts hit, and then I'm going to fire 2 missiles at the second Zoro. It takes a little bit of practice just to get this one, because it's not the easiest thing in the world. So again, let's try this again. Alright, so here we go. That first shot, and then 2 missiles, and you're in. It's gonna take you a lot of practice just to get this incorrect. You gotta be able to fire 2 missiles consistently while you're moving and not stopping. You might get hit, but again, if you've got the E-tanks to spare, like here we've got 2 E-tanks, it take quite a few hits. Even if you take the hit, it's probably faster to do this anyway. You can't do 2 charge shots because these guys are moving in different patterns. Every time you enter the room, so they can either be going left or right. Like that last time it was going left, now this time it's going right. This one's going right. It's all about practicing each room for the most part. You know, you can just keep passing by, you know, through this room. Charge beam, charge shot, bang. You know, you could charge shot one and then jump over the other. That's a possibility as well. If you're not comfortable with the missile method, alright, I'll just jump over this guy. Not a big deal. It's pretty much just as fast just to do it this way. Alright, and we got it. This room, though, okay. So this room is going to be kind of interesting to do the fast way. You would think that, you know, coming in and wall jumping would be faster. The fastest way is just to come and ledge grab and pull yourself up, because wall jumping it's fast in some respects, but not always. The other thing that you might think might be faster would be if, you know, you just jump through this doorway, grab this, and I'm pretty sure that that's actually slightly slower for whatever reason. I don't recall what specific reason, but I think it just has to do with a few frames. Actually, hang on. Here. Ah, that might be it. Yeah. It's okay, so that's why it's slower. And this is something I actually haven't mentioned, and I probably should have mentioned in the past few parts. Heck. Okay, so... And this is, again, this is just a beginner's tutorial. It's not really, like, you don't have to do this. But if you notice when I jump through the door, it kind of adjusts, right? If I run through the door, it doesn't make that adjustment. So by doing this, it's the fastest door transition you can get. But if I do any sort of jump, you see it can kind of, like, transition if I jump too high. So say I kind of come through here and I'm like, okay, let me just jump. So it repositions the door up to kind of match Samus's positioning. In RTA, we try to minimize this by doing something called door fixes. And this is something new that came about when we made the switch to RTA, because we are optimizing for RTA time instead of in-game time now. Super Metroid does this, as do, I think, a few of the other games. And essentially, what it is by jumping through or entering a door at a very specific area or height, you're minimizing the amount of shift that the door is doing to give you a transition that looks like this. Just completely smooth. Now, they aren't always faster, and they only save about like 16 frames, give or take, on a lot of doors. There are some doors that are a little bit more, but not by much. And the only reason I bring this up is because of this shift in the door. If I jump through this door, it's kind of slower, unless I jump super low through the door. As opposed to doing something like this, where I just run through, do a very short hop, and then grab and pull myself up. You're maximizing the amount of time you're on the ground, you're minimizing the amount of time you're in the air. Now this room, you know, you could go and sneak your way through these platforms, kill this guy, and then, you know, go to the security room. However, first enter the room, depending on where that Zoro is and what direction it's moving. This time it's moving upwards, so I'll fire it shot up, and I'll do some wall jumps. Samus, I said I'll do some wall jumps, thank you, and just do that. So the fastest way to get up this room would be to wall jump off of here, wall jump, wall jump, wall jump, just to get up there. You could also, I guess, technically just come up this way and wall jump and do this. That also works. But the positioning of this Zoro and which direction it decides to move is critical for how you play this. If it's going down, go down, darn you. If it's going up, fire a charge shot. I fire a missile just in case the charge shot misses. Whatever the case may be. But if it goes down, you don't really have a problem because you can just jump right over it. Go down, darn you! Ooh, hello. Alright, well, that's unfortunate and a very bad example. I missed the missile and the charge shot. Oops. Go down, darn you! What the heck? You have a 50-50. Why are you giving me the bad 50%? It's like the game... Okay, there we go. If I could just jump right over them and just keep moving. Easy peasy. This room... Security switch. Very easy. Very easy. Now, the interesting thing is now that we just did those first 3 rooms, we're going to do them backwards now. This first room, the climb that we just did, is not going to be that difficult. So what we're going to do, we can just kill the Zoro as we run off, and then fall back this way. And again, this room is going to be the same thing where we just talked about, where you're just going to want to run through it as quickly as possible. This one's going to be interesting. You could, I mean, you have the potential to fall right in between those 2 Zoro spawns. Or, you know, you could run off and do something a little backwards like this. But the easiest way to go about doing this is you want to have angled down as you're falling. You just want to run off and like just kind of hit against, like just tap yourself. Oops, oil spill movement. It's still in my head. Just kind of want to, you know, you don't want to go too far off because then you're just going to go like that. You're going to want to run off the ledge, release, and then press left again as you start to fall. By doing this, you kind of, you can line yourself up to where you just fall straight down. Once you're at this point, that Zoro that you can kind of see at the bottom, you're going to want to fall down and you want to shoot it to, you know, get it. There's no real way to move through this part too quickly, and I'll show you exactly why here. I'm going to just reset the room through this door. As you fall down, can't just hit, well, I guess you could. It depends on the position. Sorry. It's very dependent on the position, so you kind of want to potentially take a beat right there, you know, because you could get that where you just get hit, and to like minimize the times you're getting hit or the times that I'm literally about to die, you just kind of want to come down, fire, and then just move after you know for a fact that you hit it. Once you've destroyed that, you're just going to run straight left. You're going to shoot this door and charge through the doorway, through the door transition. Just let go of the charge beam and just keep running. You'll always hit that Zoro, 100% of the time. It's a guarantee, even coming this way. Nice health, by the way. Nice. Nice. Alright. So, this room. What we're going to do here, the quick way to do this room, and I'll make a save here because we haven't really saved in a little bit. I'm going to hold a charge through the door. I'm going to wall jump with this charge beam. The reason I'm doing this is because, and as you can see, that's the movement's pretty quick. So the reason I'm coming in this room with a charge beam, get out of here, Rio. As I come to make this jump, I ideally want to wall jump off of this guy and just do like a maximum jump and then press left and A to wall jump again. And you're gonna get the ledge grab every time. You could, you know, come in here, do this, and then jump up here. But the reason I'm doing a charge beam and why I'm holding it is for something like this. Well, not necessarily that. You know, say I come in here, I kind of miss it once, like, oh shoot, I can come in here and do this. But really the main reason is because of that Rio. As you can see, the pseudo screw attack, which I believe I covered in the first part, in part 2. If I didn't, or you didn't watch it, essentially pseudo screw attacking is where you hold a charge beam and you can deal damage as you spin. Oh, I messed up there. Oh no. Thank God I have this this charge beam held so I can spin jump and kill that Rio so I can just move through unhindered. Right? That's essentially what it is. It's like the screw attack, but it's weaker. You could just fire that straight up. I missed because I'm dumb and forgot where he was. He's closer to this platform, I believe. They're like, kind of like right there. And then you can just run over here. Now, this jump is kind of tight. You can make it where you just land right on top of the platform. It's pretty, like, I don't think it might be pixel perfect. And like the jump extend doesn't really help you there, but you have to like do it at the very last moment that you run off like that. So it's possible to do, but it's really tight timing. So something like this, you know, you might make it like some of the time. You might just grab the ledge. Grabbing the ledge isn't any slower. So just run up, you know, do this. You can, if you can make it, great. If not, you're more likely just gonna grab the ledge. You could also do this as well, or, well, do something like that. Anything works. Again, it's all comfort level. You know, and I'll pound that into the table so much throughout this tutorial. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing. There are a lot of runners that do a lot of different things for rooms or anything else, so it's just what they've, you know, done that makes them feel comfortable in doing some stuff. And the theme of Sector 2, we're going to do this room backwards. This one's going to be a little bit more difficult, because you have that Rio in that first position that we had it. But now he's going to fly at us. So now we have to come up with a way that we can kill the Rio and not have it be a problem, right? So let's try this, right? So I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to run off the ledge, and I'm going to R-shoot whenever I feel like I'm just going to try to time it up. That's all I'm really going to do. I'm just going to time up my charge shot. And I can R-shoot, or I can just release, and then keep going. Again, the other option, though, we do have options, where we can kind of pseudo-screw right through them. Or not. Or I could just get hit, like a buffoon, and completely destroy my example. Jump off there, and then kind of jump up here. Falling down, if you've got health like this, it's going to be very tight, so it depends really where that Zoro is underneath. So when you come down, hopefully that Zoro is either moving to the left or the right. If it's moving to the left, and I can reset the room here in a sec. I'll reset this room because the other door is destroyed. We'll come in here again. Rio, hey, what's up? Bye. And then I'm just going to fall down, and I can just keep running and kill him as I move. You can stop and release and just shoot him. That's fine, too. So, if you're stressed for missiles, which at this point, how many max do we have? We have 30 max. At this point, we really shouldn't need too many. If you want some insurance missiles, you can go over here. Now, when you lay this bomb, make sure, because we just picked up bombs, by the way. Forgot to mention that. Did it like 5 minutes ago. When you get bombs, you're going to notice that they're a very long fuse, long timer. So this game is very different in the fact that, you know, it doesn't really allow you to mid-air bomb jump very well. And it's very imperceptible. You get some height from mid-air bomb jumping, but not a lot. There's really not a lot that you can get from mid-air bomb jumping. So you're not able to IBJ like you can in a lot of different games. What IBJ stands for is infinite bomb jump, where you can lay a bomb and you can just kind of, you know, like a metronome, just keep laying bombs in the same rhythm, and it'll keep just bouncing you higher and higher and higher infinitely until you either break it or you hit the ceiling. In this game, though, you notice when I did the first one, I unmorphed. The reason I unmorph is because when that bomb goes off, it's not gonna send me upwards. Unlike where if I stay like this, I'll get shot, you know, like 3 tiles high or 2.5 tiles up. Just kind of unmorph, and then as it goes off, just remorph and keep going. And once I'm in a tunnel, I can just hold it, and then you can grab these missiles right here. These are slightly slow. But they are right here, and they don't really require a door transition. Though the big trade-off is you have to lay 3 very slow bombs. And really, I would sometimes feel like a door transition is actually a little bit faster to do than some of those bombs. Whew. Pardon me, excuse me. Sorry about that. But anyway, we're just going to come down here. And we're just going to lay a bomb right here. And I'm just going to, you know, sometimes as you lay that bomb, you can, you know, I try to time it up and jump by jumping and falling through at the same time. You're going to keep your speed and your momentum through the fall. Now, the one thing that can happen is you know, if you're standing there, and this is more of like a high level kind of thing where like if you're trying to, you know, metagame or whatever, not metagame, the fuck am I talking about? If you're trying to go fast, while you're waiting for the bomb to go off, as you can see here, that my velocity, I'm not moving. My velocity is 0. Another physics lesson. So I have to accelerate from here to about there. Well, what I'm able to do is as that bomb goes off, if I jump and I time it up perfectly, I can start hitting my maximum velocity as I fall through, so I can fall through as that block is destroyed without losing any of my velocity and without needing to accelerate slowly. So I'm essentially going to fall through faster. But like you don't at all have to do that. You can just fall down here and do whatever. If you roll off, there's something that you'll see that's going to happen, and there's ways to mitigate this. As when you're in ball form, and if I'm to roll off this, you see, if I start holding right immediately, I don't actually get to move. So I'll show this. So this is left. Okay. So I'm gonna press left, and then I'm gonna immediately hold right. But as you could see, when I held right, I didn't actually begin to move right immediately, and that's because when I fall from a distance of 3 blocks high or more, Samus kind of bounces off the ground a little bit, and by doing this, you're not able to get through this 1x1 tunnel. So a way you could get around this is, say, you know, just waiting to morph until you get kind of closer to the ground, just press down once, and then time up the second press as you get closer to the ground. Or, you know, morph, unmorph, and remorph. It's the same thing. So this is going to be interesting. This placement here is going to be interesting, to say the least. So what I'm going to do here is, as I go through, depending on the Zoro pattern, and everything's dependent on this Zoro pattern, there are 2 Rios, right? There are 2 Rios that die to a single missile. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fire 2 missiles as I fall off the ledge. I'm going to fall 2 missiles, and then I'm going to try to time up and hit 2 missiles on the Zoro. Let's see if I can get it. Alright. 2. 1, 2. Whoop, missed. And please don't hit me because I will die. It's something akin to that. Try this again. Nope, don't do that. Don't know why I charged. I'm just in such a habit of charging through the door. Alright, so here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I can't get back up. Sorry, bomb jump back up. Oh, heck. Get out of here, Rio. Alright. Instead of potentially dying here, what I'll do is just this. Way we can continue unimpeded. So just come in here, do that. Kind of fall down here, do that. Lay the bomb. You know, don't really worry about that. This one I'm gonna do this. 1, 2, 1, 2. So I'll fire 2 missiles as I'm here, 1, 2, and then as I fall off, I'll just fire the next 2 missiles. Again, you can only have 2 missiles on screen at one time. So, effectively, I want to prioritize where I fire those 2 missiles. If I fire the Zoro is kind of like here, I want to kill this Rio, fire 2, and then look up and fire, so it'll look something like this. 1, 1, 2, 1. Or something akin to that, I guess. What I'll do here is I will just do this. Just a quick save, I guess. And then we'll just reload the save real quick. Don't start moving until I start moving. Morph. Alright, that's perfect. 1. I mean, it's gonna be a little tough, admittedly, just to kind of hit that perfectly. But we'll go through it one more time here. Hopefully we get the same pattern. Did not, that's fine. Just kind of unmorph, do, and just keep moving. I'm gonna actually give myself 10 more misses. That's essentially how you do that room. This room, if you actually need more missiles, you come up here, you can kind of just shoot twice after a wall jump, lay a bomb about here, get out of here, Rio, and then grab these missiles. They're pretty quick. Again, no door transition needed. And then just kind of come this way, climb up this. But if you don't want to do that, just kind of come in here. So as you come through this room, this is what you're going to want to do. Once you kill the Zoro, you want to shoot the door, jump and morph, so that way you have you can morph faster than doing that. I mean, as you're moving through, you can kind of get a little bit of extra vertical movement. As you can see, I mean, there's no momentum in this game like there is in, like, say, Super Metroid. You just kind of want to just spin jump and press down twice really quickly to kind of morph in midair. It's faster than kind of stopping dead, then morphing and going. So as opposed to, so let's time this up really. Let's do this. I'll start it through the door transition. I just kind of run in, morph, and boom. Okay, 3 seconds, whatever. It's gonna be super close. I'll just say that right now. Let's not mess that up. Started it correctly. Again, 3 seconds, but you know, ideally you don't have to do that. You can just do it in the other room, so that way when you roll in, you just right here, bomb. And again, this is going to be another point. As you can see, we're going to fall, what is that, 4 blocks? We're going to fall 4 blocks from or 5 blocks technically, since it's 5 straight down. So we're going to end up bouncing here. Again, we're going to bounce. So we can just do this, unmorph, remorph, and keep going. So it's just up. Well, you got to do it as you fall to that first block. So you want to time it up to where it's the first block. You press up and then down twice immediately. When you roll off, wait until you're aligned with this block right here. This first block that you're rolling off of, up and then down. So if I do it too early, like that, if I try to do that, it's not going to let me do it until I have the space where Samus can stand up. And Samus is 2 blocks in height, as you can see based on this. Kind of have like a little bit of pixels, like kind of off the top of her head that pushes that boundary for a 3rd block, but it's 2 by 1. So once you're able to hit that 2 by 1, you're able to kind of unmorph and then remorph. So you're just going to continue on placing a bomb. Now these two are going to be interesting. You can, well, I can't really get back up there now, but depending on where they are, you can jump down and just do something like this, or if, say it's just the one that we saw coming in, you could potentially, as you fall, land with a charge shot, and then in a one motion you can kind of run off and then do 2 missiles and lay the bomb here. Ideally, when you're waiting for this, you just get a charge beam ready, charge beam ready, crouch, fire, and then fire 2 missiles in this tunnel, and you're going to take the rightmost one. As you're unmorphed, you're going to want to charge the beam, because as you fall, you can just kind of morph as you land and hit that Zoro in the tunnel, so that way you can, go, okay, morph, unmorph, and then grab the ledge and keep going. Playing some bombs. Now again, I'm going to charge the charge beam. You really don't, it's important that if you charge the charge beam through here, the main reason being, I'm going to save here because I won't be able to get back up otherwise. God, excuse me. Man, I don't know why I'm so gassy right now. So as I fall off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin, and I'm going to morph. And another thing that I haven't really mentioned is, when you have a fully charged charge beam and you morph, it fires it straight away. No matter where you are, it's going to do that. So as the same principle is going to follow here. I'm going to morph before I hit the ground to prevent any bouncing, and so I can open the door and just move along. So something like this. Very easy. Very quick, very easy. And as I come in here, I'm going to just drop off the ledge, lay a bomb, and kill that Rio. Very, very quick. Very, very quick. So we'll just roll right through. I'm going to stay along here, lay a bomb, and then shoot that Rio with a missile diagonal to the right. So as I come down here, what I'm going to do is, if you come down here, I'll just kind of show you. These are crumble blocks. So you'll fall down where there's a blue Rio that deals a lot of damage and takes a lot of hits to kill. As you fall off here, once you run off the ledge, you just want to hold right immediately. So you can come back and land this way. Because you don't really have to go down there unless you're going for 100%. It's just going to look something like this. And then you're just going to do a small hop off. So as you run off this ledge, you'll want to do a small hop. Small hop is to avoid touching that ledge. And you want to do it like as you're about to run off the ledge. So like at the very last second. I'll run along and then I'll do a very small kind of jump to avoid that ledge. Because running off normally, you'll get this. Stop. Okay, I'm running along. Up. Momentum's done. And okay, now I'm falling off again and I hit the ground and my momentum's done. So that real small hop, it's very quick, very easy. That Tuskegee trying to chase me down. Ow. Okay, so again, it's just, run in. Whatever. Run in, small hop, and you avoid that little corner of the ledge, which is really what you want to, or try to avoid anyway. Alright, so this next room, there are missiles down here, but they're really not worth getting. Again, they requires 2 bombs to go off, and you have to wait maybe 3 if you don't get the, this bomb. So it'll look something like this. Kill this guy, get him out of the way. Cool. Well, okay, so I want to lay a bomb here, get this, and when I get this, I'm going to do this. Oh, I missed it. So that's the other thing that could happen. You might miss that block. You can make it through, and you're gonna have to get it for 100%. But I don't recommend grabbing it. At least, you know, for something for any percent, it's not gonna help you too much. And by this point, you already have like 40 missiles. I'm just gonna remove those missiles because whatever. So in this room, moving on, you're gonna jump up here and you can fire, you know, kill these pancakes, whatever you want to do. I'm an idiot because I didn't save. Great. Let me see if I can extend back. I know I can't. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. I'm just gonna reset. I saved at the top of that room, so we're fine. So I'm gonna show the other way that you can do going into that room. Again, you'll get another good example of this. I lay the bomb there, destroy the Rio, kind of come over this way, do a small hop, and just keep moving on. So you can just run off that or roll right off of that ledge, but what you could also do is unmorph and wall jump to kind of push yourself horizontally towards this area where you need to lay the bomb. Grab this and then just angle down and kill these pancakes, and then just run right through. Very quick, very easy. You can roll off and you know, just kill those as you go. It really depends on if you're comfortable with unmorphing and wall jumping on that first one, and then the second one is just kill those at whatever, you know, cost possible. Excuse me. All right, now this room. This room's going to be slightly different, slightly interesting here. So when you come in, you're just going to jump up on here. You can jump here and then up here, and then come up this way. Or what you could do is just wall jump here to grab this ledge and kind of do something like this. Or, you know, something like this. Ledge grabbing your way all the way up. If you're comfortable with wall jumping, that's even better. You can kind of get that pattern, get that wall jump up here, and then just, you know, and then you're good. You could kill the Zoros if you're not comfortable with them, you know, being there if you're, you know, you need to do it just in case, but wall jumping is going to be the fastest way that you're going to get up this room. It'll just be, you know, here. You know, you could get hit there occasionally. It's not always a guarantee to happen, but it happens. Now, you're going to want to go through, so you don't want to go through this door over here, because this door leads to where the SAX encounter is, and we'll get to that a little bit later in a couple minutes. You also don't want to come down here. Sorry, not down here. Down there is a save room. Apologies. Could go down there if you need to. You don't want to go above, because going above leads to this big room you can't do anything in just yet. This is for way later in the game. You're just going to come in here and you're going to run, and what I tend to do is I charge a charge beam through this door, because you can see there's a Deskiga, that big spiny side hopper. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run right off the ledge, and I'm going to try to morph before I hit the ground and fire this charge beam like I did in that room before the Rio. You rolled right under it. That's not how I do it. Run right in. Something like that. So that way, the charge shot kills the Deskiga. The charge shot kills the Deskiga, and you're able to just roll right under the shot. Because otherwise, if you were to come in and do that originally, you'd either get hit like that, or you would you know, have to damage boost through it. By coming in here and just, and of course you can run in here and do what I did the first time, just hit the ground, morph, and do that. That also works. The fastest way you'll be able to get through is to morph as you land, so that way it's kind of seamless. In this room, you got an ouch missile, missed it, and we're just going to keep running. So, okay, so this room, we've got a couple things here. We've got an E-Tank. This one's very free. Very free E-Tank to grab here for your third one or fourth one, depending on how many you've grabbed so far at this point. The other thing is that you think, okay, we're just going to shoot this side of the floor because it's a fake floor. We're going to fall right down, and there's something that, and I can just shoot this up here. So there's another thing that I mentioned about the charge beam and with how much damage it does. So at this point, eye doors, you're just gonna hold the charge beam and walk right up to the eye door and shoot it. You want to make sure you just want to walk right up to it and make sure all parts of the beam hit. That 26 damage will destroy any eye door, and we'll be doing that until we get super missiles. The super missile upgrade, which will make us do about 30, I believe. I believe our missiles get upgraded to 30 once we get super missiles. So you're just gonna come in, you know, get the E-tank, shoot the floor, drop down, wait until it opens, and then fire one shot and grab the red X. So I'm gonna make a save right here because this fight can go any number of ways. As you know, Ghidoras often indicate a boss fight. This boss fight is Zazabi, or the Condom Monster, as I've named him and people have carried on, you know, over the years. At this point, it seems. That's what most people now refer to him as, since I've started referring to him as Condom Monster. Now, this guy is complete RNG. Complete RNG. 100%. You can, it's random, how many jumps that he wastes. He can waste a minimum of 3 jumps, or he can jump as many as 12 times, maximum, assuming you hit all the shots. So, I'll just start the fight so you can kind of get a feel for it, and I'll do this fight a couple of times, just so you can kind of see different fights. The first round, with all of his segments, he'll jump 0 times to 3 times, and the amount of jumps that he wastes is based on, so that's only 1 jump, which is good. The amount of jumps that we're counting is how many times he jumps before he beats himself vulnerable, so that's 2. That's a minimum, that's good. A minimum of 4 now is really good, a maximum of 7, so we've got 3, 4, 5, 6... Is that 6 or is that 5? Either way. Alright, so the first round he's gonna do... The first round he'll do 0 to 3 jumps that are wasted before he opens up to become vulnerable. The second round is 1 to 4, so he's always guaranteed to jump 1 time. The second round, or the third phase, is 2 to 5. So the last phase is always a guaranteed 2 minimum, maximum of 5 before he opens up to take damage. Now, the last phase, as you saw, he will walk a random distance before jumping up and you hitting him. As you can see, what I'm doing when I fight him is I'm keeping a charge shot ready. So whenever he becomes vulnerable, I fire a charge shot up, and then I fire a missile directly afterwards. The reason I fire the missile is just in case, you know, he isn't... I didn't hit the entire thing, so I'll fire the charge shot, which the charge shot is enough to destroy the segment. The missile is just to ensure that I dealt enough damage. Right now we're looking at a 4-jump Zazabi, minimum of 6, maximum of 9, 5, 6, 7 jump. Alright, so now we've got a last segment. It depends on how far he wants to go. He'll always do it, so I fire that, 2 missiles. And what I'm doing here, wow, I cannot believe I mistimed that as badly as I did, is, that was a double. So what I'm doing as the Core X spawns is the same concept that we used against Arachnus, and the same concept we'll be using against most Core X's that spawn, and that is we're going to fire 2 missiles diagonally up into it to ensure that they're in the hitbox for as long as possible, to ensure that we hit 2 times, or both missiles, as it spawns in. So as the hitbox spawns in, essentially what we're going to do is we're going to keep 2 missiles there to deal 20 damage to count as 2 hits. And then we're just going to try to, you know, do some setups for the second one. So there are a couple different ways you can set that up. I'll show a couple different ways here. So you saw me doing a wall jump to set it up. Do that. Another way you could do it is jump right there. That tinked. Let me just try this again. Come from below. And you can kind of do like that. That one's really quick. Each invulnerability period is 3 seconds long, so you want to try to maximize what you're doing. And essentially what I'm doing for the double missile is I'm firing one while I'm on the ground, doing a small hop, and as you can kind of, and I'm firing another one out on the small hop, so as you can kind of see, I'm kind of lining them up. You know, something like that. You can kind of see that they're overlapping. You know, something like that. You know, and essentially what I'm doing is I'm luring it in such a way that the hitbox is hitting both missiles at once. So even if it's slightly like adjacent, like they're slightly apart, I'm able to hit both of them still. So I'll do it again just to show, you know, the different luring methods, and I'll explain as I go through them. Excuse me. So the first one that I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to, as it spawns in, I'm going to fire 2 missiles like that. Again, as it spawns in, and you're going to want to, like, it's going to take some practice, and doing double missiles is all practice anyway. It's all practice, really. It's really what it comes down to. You just have to get the timing down to fire the missiles as it spawns in. As well as practicing, you know, getting the lures correct. So what I'm going to do here for this one that I'm going to show off, that was 3, is I'm going to fire 2 diagonally, and then I'm going to do a wall jump. That's really good positioning. It'll allow me to wall jump right off here. So 2, I'll wall jump off here, do a jump extend, and then do that missile jump, and then fire another one right up. So essentially what I'm doing is, by doing that wall jump, it's trying to run into me. And you can back this up and watch as this happened, but as I jumped over it and around, it tries to track what I'm doing, so it has to come up and around. And as it's coming up and around, I'm firing 2 missiles straight up, so that way when it comes and gets to that point, it's just hitting those 2 missiles, and you're, you know, you're dealing double the damage. I don't know, my brain just kind of crapped out for a second. I felt like I was about to say something else, and then I just didn't. Back on. Turn my eyes a bit. If you're gonna be staring at your screen, you know, yellow tinted glasses or gunner glasses, really good, really helpful to help you stare at screens for a very long time. As I feel like work and everything else, speedrunning, I stare at screens, televisions, a lot. But yeah, you just want to try to take advantage of how the Core X moves, essentially, is what we're trying to do here. The next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do that damage boost one. This is the other way that you can hit this guy. Do a short walk. That's not short. So, like, something like this, you would want to... Wow, okay, I missed. That was really good positioning for that first one. Do this. That's not... That's a shame that that did that. It being along the wall is the best position to get that that damage boost set up, because if you don't get the... So the reason that's faster is because if it spawns here where I'm at, I have to run all the way to the right. I have to go all the way over here just to do that. Meanwhile, if it's, you know, pretty quick. Oops. What am I doing? Wait, thank you. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm messing around at this point, sorry. Meanwhile, if, you know, it's all the way over here, I can just do the double damage, run back to where it's going to spawn, to where the sweet spot is, and set up so where I can destroy it, where it'll... Great. Thanks, dude. Oh, shoot, come on. Long walk, please. I'll just kind of bait him over here. I messed that up tremendously. Okay, then we'll try this again. Only got one, but that's fine, whatever. Oops. I'll run this way. Let's try it this way. Let's jump over them, get the damage boost, and you can kind of see how that would work that way. That's a little bit more advanced. I don't recommend if you're just starting out to go for that method. Just if you want to practice it, by all means go for it. You're completely within your own right to do whatever strat you want to learn. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. I'm just going to suggest that potentially that might not be the one you want to start out with learning if you're struggling with learning double missiles, or you're just learning how to manipulate the Core X into manipulating the Core X in such a way that will allow you to double missile it. Start off with something simple, then get into the kind of higher level stuff there. But now we've got high jump and spring ball, so I can jump and spring ball by pressing morph ball by pressing A, and now I can jump a lot higher. So now I can jump up and grab this ledge, and we're gonna be on our way out. And as I said earlier with door fixes, I do one here. I'm pretty sure it's faster, but I'll show you. I'll save here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of run in through here and just do this. So you're going to see the major adjustment that it just did there, right? It kind of had to do an adjustment. So what I'm going to do instead is the door fix that I tend to do. So I'm going to come through here. I usually have a fully charged charge beam. I'm going to hold that up left. I'm going to wall jump right here. And I'm going to, well, not that, but I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to, come on. Run a little bit and... What the fuck are you doing? And I'm just gonna jump through it like that. By jumping through it, I'm minimizing the amount of time that it's going to do it. So I'm just gonna do that, and it's perfect already. The other alternative would be to, say, come up here, open the door, and then wait for it to open up. But by jumping, as you can see, it kind of takes a while for this the screen to scroll back up. But okay, whatever. Now I can just jump I don't even have to jump that high through it. Once it's at that portion, I can just do this. It just slides over, but the camera has to pan up. So by jumping, though, it kind of brings it up a little bit more. So you can kind of just do a bit of a small hop through there to get the camera all the way up. Whatever, gets that camera up there, you'll be saving a few seconds for sure, no time. You could also come up here and do that. I mean, you're still going to get some scrolling as well. Come up here. Or, well, what would be the strat for that, actually? Shoot the door and then jump up and then fall through it. But either way, I'm gonna kind of shoot a missile through that guy as we make our way back. Okay, so this, I'm gonna spend a little bit of time on this. I feel it's relevant. I don't know what I'm doing. Save right here. Just right here, I'm gonna save. Alright. You played this game as a kid growing up, you know what's coming. That is the SAX encounter. Alright, so there are a lot of different ways you can go about this. If you want to wait here, wait till it shoots the door, then you just kind of want to run through, and you'll get there as fast as possible. You can wait until it completely leaves the room, but you don't have to. If you line up with where I'm standing here. Sorry, a bit of a late night last night. So kind of right here, where the corner is on the back of Samus's head. Wait until it shoots and the door opens. And then you can just kind of, once it shoots, then you can start running. And you won't get detected. The other way that you can go through this room is by ignoring everything about that and saying, alright, well, I don't care. I want to go through the room regardless. I don't care that the SAX is there. So you're just going to fall down this first block, jump over the shot, jump over the... well, This is gonna take some doing. I'm not consistent with this method, but you can get it. This is literally, this method's gonna save you 8 seconds. I'm gonna fire a missile right on that last one. Damn it. Touching the SAX is like 4 E-tanks worth of damage. If you have 4 E-tanks, if you're doing this and you have 4 E-tanks, you can do the better. No, it's not. What? That's better. Now we're at full health. Let me quick save. Full health. If you have 4 E-tanks, you can do this. It requires that you literally fall down the right along the wall here. So if you touch the wall, you want to touch the wall, essentially. And actually, you need 3 E-tanks, it looks like, to do it. You only need... So, this is a 100% strat to get through this. The 100% SAX skip strat is you just YOLO it completely. There's a save point if you're not comfortable with it doing it this way. Touch the wall, run this way. You'll get super through, then just jump over that ice beam if it fires it again. Easy. Not that hard. It'll take... Well, I say it's not that hard. It'll take some getting used to. So it'll take some doing, some trying, for sure. Now, the any percent method to do this. So, when I come in here, I'm going to fire a missile as my foot hits here. So, you're going to see that I'll shoot this left block. And that's very important because when you're doing the SAX skip for any percent, you really want to just shoot that one block because you want to be as far to the left as possible. What the fuck? Really? Are you kidding me right now? Alright. And then you're just going to... Just do some morph ball jumps over the ice shots. The shots have to be very particular as you're doing this. So you're looking for the SAX to fire a shot horizontally, diagonally up to the right, diagonally up to the left. I've already fucked it up. That's fine. Dingleberry. The Dingleberry. Not at all what it's supposed to do. I can't believe I missed that missile. No, it's me. I totally believe that I missed that missile. Jump over the first one. And jump over that. You can kind of salvage it. The super missiles only do 1, but that's essentially what the SAX skip is. You can jump over them in ball form. So we'll try this one more time. Just doing that method. You really only want to learn this for if you're going for a really good time. Oh, shoot. Well, we're just going to reset. That wasn't supposed to happen. Again, this is this is brutal. This trick, again, saves 8 seconds. It literally saves 8 seconds. If you're just learning, it's not worth going for. I've already messed it up, so I'll try the backup strat. I fucked the backup strat up. Just end it all so I can start over. Eagle has a tutorial video for doing this backup strat, where you wall jump. It's a little bit slower than the original SAX skip, but it works all the same. And you're out just like that. 8 seconds saved right there. Now, I'm gonna try the Eagle one. I'm pretty sure I know what the Eagle one looks like. I don't know whether or not I'm 100% confident doing it, though. Essentially what it is you get the SAX to shoot at you, but you want to have it, you want to jump in such a way along the wall and like jump over it to where you are jumping over it and then you can kind of morph ball your way through. Hello. stop angling up, you dingleberry. I've literally never done eagle strat for this. I've done the ball jump method, but that strat, it's not as fast. I believe it's slightly more consistent, but as you can see, I'm not, you know, not entirely sold on this. It'll kind of look something like this, where you just you're just gonna be jumping over the ice beams once you get it, but we'll do it one more time. So for visual example here, I'm just gonna do the one missile method. Okay. Angle. Wow! Wow! Alright, so that's rare. Not all that rare, but that's really annoying. So what happened there is I got frozen on the angle up shot. Oops. So when the SAX shot the ice shot angled upwards to the right, I got caught because Samus bounced in ball form. Ideally for this, you want 2 diagonal shots. Again! I got caught again! I wasn't close enough. So that'll happen if you're slightly too far away. Dang, dude. I want to at least get it one more time. If I don't get it this time, we'll just move on. We're just gonna move on. Essentially, what you're looking for is an angle. You want a horizontal shot that you jump over, an angle up shot that you're ducked under. And then after it fires, you jump up and over, so it'll turn around and fire diagonal up to the left. And by that point, you should already be rolling towards the door, and you'll have to jump over some additional horizontal ice beam shots as it tries to keep up. But, you know, not a problem. I'm salty though, but try. Oh, man, that's unfortunate. I got caught on the bounce. Alright, we're just gonna wait for the SAX to leave. Unfortunate, very unfortunate, but I hope that gave you some perspective on how that works if you're curious and wanted to, you're crazy enough to go for it. And I'm just gonna wait here with this thing lined up in my back, get fired. I'm just gonna run this way. The light goes out and we're good. Really, really easy. The first thing you're going to notice, too, when we get to this room, you might have noticed it as we passed a few rooms back, the Zoros have all calcified. They've all hardened into cocoons. They're going to turn into an enemy that's even worse than the Zoros, and that deal way more damage later on in the game. So, you've got something to look forward to. Alright, so... yeah. Now that the SAX is done... What the heck, dude? I don't know why that... Man. I am so sorry, everybody. Alright, so this room, now we're just gonna climb this room vertically. If you want, you can take this as leisurely as you want. Just, you know... You're doing some ledge grabs. Maybe, you know, going like this. That's all well and good. However... fast way to get through this. Jump here. You're gonna jump, shoot, cancel. You're gonna wall jump, and you're gonna wall jump again. You're gonna get up here, do another wall jump, ledge grab, and then do something like this. So all in all, when this is all put together perfectly, it's gonna look like this. That's not perfectly. Some version of that. Just, you know, doing wall jumps, jump shots, shot canceling, spin canceling, whatever, and then just doing, you know, just jumping as soon as you're spin canceled. Actually, that's more like it. That'll always be a ledge grab. You can grab that ledge, or you can wait to jump completely. Or you could come up here and do a ledge, wall jump to a spin cancel, and you're just gonna lay some bombs up here. Again, you can kind of see that when I do a jump, I'm kind of like delayed as I hit the bomb as it goes off. Like I'm slowed down immensely here. So you can see what it looks like when I fall regularly, right? So if I do a bomb and then I gotta time it up. You gotta time it up. There you go. You kind of see I slow down a bit there. There's no real mid-air bomb jumping. The only real mid-air bomb jump that's actually useful in a run is the 100% run. So you're not really gonna do that, but you're gonna, you know, lay that, and you're gonna want to try to jump as it goes off. So it'll look something kind of like this. You'll jump, do that, okay, and then you'll just kind of hit in the freaking hole, dude. You can lay it as low as like, well, that works too, something like that. You can lay it as low as like right there, I believe, like there. As long as the middle of the bomb is above those two lines that are right here that I'm placing the bomb in between. If it the top of it is 50% over, you're gonna destroy the block. So as you get through the tunnel, you just press up to unmorph, right, and then, I mean, right will kind of just, you know, it's gonna be just up, right, A, B, just to kind of, as you roll through. It'll be, you know, something like that, so you can stand up and start moving immediately. The other thing that you're gonna see me do as well, that you could probably have seen me do, is like I'll lay a bomb, and as it goes off, I'll do a very small hop. This very small hop with jump ball is to prevent me from, you know, having that happen. Because again, once you're in the air, you're not gonna get shot up. You're just gonna have your velocity. You know, you're gonna get some vertical height, but like pixels, really. So by doing this, I'm able to, and you're going to see me do it throughout this tutorial several times in several places. It's essentially allowing me to avoid this. And the only reason that it'll happen, the only reason that this will happen, is if I have no vertical velocity. Where, like, if I'm on the ground with no speed, if I'm touching the ground, it'll happen. Like 100%. And it can happen like that as well. Like it can go off above you, and if you're touching the ground and your speed is like 0, or like I believe it's actually if you're just touching the ground. If you're just touching the ground with no vertical velocity, it'll just send you in like a direction. So like again, like something like maybe not that or that. Sorry, maybe like there. If it hits you and you're on the ground, it'll do that, but by doing a very small ball hop, you can avoid it. Alright, so this next room, I'm gonna run in here with a charge beam, charge the door open. I'm not really gonna use it. I don't even know why. You don't even have to come in here with a charge shot. Sorry, I'm just so used to having it. I'm gonna run in, and what I'm gonna do here, there's a couple different things that I can do in this room. If you're comfortable with wall jumps, you can do 2 wall jumps like that and then morph. I'm gonna kill the Skiga here. Because there's a different way. You can grab this ledge and do wall kicks. I think the wall kick, yeah, you can get all the way up there. Or you can do something like this, where you grab the ledge, you're going to neutral jump, but you're going to morph at the same time. And by doing that, hang on, let's see. I think it's the neutral jump. Yeah, so you're gonna, once you neutral jump and morph into a morph ball, you're gonna tap left. This will put you in the morph ball tunnel, and then you're just gonna press A to ball jump, and you're gonna press A to unmorph, and then you're just going to do that again, where you just kind of, hang on, not that, you know, do something like that. So it'll look like this. Okay. Stop. Something like that, or I guess the neutral jump on the last one will help too. I can grab this freaking ledge. Frick, dude. It'll look like something like that. Although, again, you can, if you're comfortable with wall jumping, just come in here, wall jump off of those two. You're good to go. Now, if you need more missiles, again, there's missiles right behind this bomb block right here. But you're just going to run in here, you know, do some variation of climbing the ledge and morph through this tunnel. Lay a bomb here. Now, there are two ways you can go. The one way that I think it was JC and myself, it may have been me that I don't know if I picked it up somewhere from somebody else when I first started running the game, but a climb that I always did to get out of the room was I came up here. I don't even know if I could do this properly, but I'll come up, I'll unmorph, get up here, wall jump, or wall jump onto this guy, and then what I'll do is I'll come up to here, and then I'm going to spin and wall jump. Huh. Heck, how did I do this? I think it was something like that, where I kind of come up this way, get on this guy. Once I'm up here, I just wall jump off this platform, and then I'll lay two bombs. This is actually really slow. It's a lot slower of a method. The fastest way to get back out is to come over here, shoot a block, climb out this way, and then just come up this way. Just snake your way back through. And with that concludes Sector 2. I hope that I covered everything that I could possibly cover for Sector 2. I'm pretty sure I went through a lot of the room strategies. And again, what we'll do is I'll save at the very top of the elevator on our way to Sector 4. And that is where we will cut this off. Sorry, didn't mean to spread the coronavirus through the video. So thank you all for watching part 3, Sector 2 tutorial for this Metroid Fusion speedrun tutorial. I've been Hercules Bench Press. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see, if you want to be alerted for the upcoming videos, or to see other speedrun videos that I do, potentially, some potential Fusion tutorials, or maybe oil spill in the future, if I've got time, or if you're interested in running that, and, you know, you're interested in the routing, or looking at those, definitely feel free. But next Sunday will be part 4, Sector 4. Very fitting. Worked out pretty well there, actually. We're gonna get actually one part that's the same as the sector number that we're going to be covering. So that's going to be a nice coincidence. But thank you all for watching. Have a great week, a great rest of your day, or if you're watching this sometime in the future, I will see you literally in a few moments for the next part. So have a good one. Goodbye.